If I may just put on the record here, I had more questions to ask this witness, but the audible sighs and reactions from the commission dissuaded me from asking more questions. I thought that I would be allowed to ask these questions based on the decisions that were made at the last hearing and the representations made. But it seems that that was to be curtailed here. And I just want to note that.
Well, you've stated that for the record, correct?
Well, and for the fact and for the argument and for, I mean, I didn't do it to whistle Dixie. I did it because I thought it was very clear here that there was more that information that this witness had, but that we were being asked not to ask those questions. So that's where I'm at.
I think people should agree to disagree, I guess.
I guess we can.
With that, you plan to call Mr. Young?
We do plan to call Mr. Young because, again, not because we wanted to, but because we understood that that was the expectation of the commission.
Oh,
No,
no, I'm sorry.
I don't direct any of these people.
I'm sorry, the voices aren't coming in.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Frank, do
Can
you
you
want to pull
repeat
your
that last statement,
microphone
Mr. Bach? President Bach?
I don't direct anybody to come in here on either side. And for the record, I do not participate in the pre-hearing conference, as both attorneys know. I get the list of witnesses, I and my fellow commissioners, and we live with whoever is called by the respective attorneys. And that's how the process works.
Well, I mean, I understand that you're saying that today, but my understanding and when I listened to the recording in preparation for this hearing was that it was said that it's expected that the employee would testify. And so that's what we prepared on that basis.
I'm gonna jump in and counsel, I believe you are either intentionally or unintentionally muddying the record. No member of this commission has ever suggested that your client is expected to testify. And in no prior hearing of this commission has any such statement ever been made. So
In
the
fact,
decision.
I think I opened the meeting by saying that you may, I used the word may call 3 witnesses, and it wasn't clear, totally clear as to who it would be and the sequence. So no, I don't, it's not my intent. And I did not say that he should or shouldn't testify. That's up to, you know, the case, or the parties know the case better than I do. So you know whether you should, it would be to your interest to have him testify or not. And I don't know that.
Okay, well, again, we've heard the position from the city attorney, and I've heard again these statements. That was not my understanding from both my original participation, experience, and then also my recollection from what I recall listening to the recordings that have been provided to me. So I mean, Mr. McLean, you can tell me what you think didn't happen, but I'm still going to have reference to my recollection and of course the recording there.
The record will speak for itself. And I just want to state unequivocally, because we seem to be going in circles here, that the decision to testify or not is entirely up to your client. And the commission has not, nor will they make any indication as to whether or not they expect that. So the record will speak for itself, but I don't know what else to say here. It's up to your client whether or not he wants to testify.
Okay, I think the record will speak for itself. So, are you ready?
If what we're going to do is ask Mr. Young to identify himself and his prior employment with the city attorney's office, and then the court reporter will swear him in. Mr. Young?
My name is Antoine Young. I work for the city attorney as the head IT of the city attorney office. Official
Okay.
title is business systems coordinator.
Please swear him in.
Okay. Raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you're about to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Thank you.
President Buck,
Commissioner Clary.
that Mr. Young speak up. For my benefit, I don't know how the court will be doing, but I'm having a hard time hearing all the
Okay.
words. Thank you very much.
Problem.
All right. Mr. Young, you were employed by the city attorney?
Yes.
Okay. And when did you start working city attorney?
I believe it was January of 2022. Yes.
And that's not your first position at the city attorney or at the city of Milwaukee?
No, I started in ITMD as an associate, 2021.
And at some point, albeit temporarily, you were removed from your position at the city attorney's office?
Yes.
When did that happen?
It happened, if I believe, toward the end of 2022, sometime in that time frame. I'm not for sure the exact time.
And how were you?
Oh, I missed that last
Um,
question. Mr. Hitchcock,
how were-
cross? The last
Excuse me,
question.
how were you, of course, how were you removed as you understood it?
As I understood it, I was being let go because of a secondary background check because I was asked to fill out a form to get a badge for access.
Okay. And when you say a badge for access, what does that mean to you?
It means I can go through the employee interest and come through the second floor door of the city attorney's office, which is open to the public. And I'll get in with just using the locked door with my badge.
Okay. At that time, were you trying to obtain access to a government database?
I knew nothing about a government database. I didn't know that that form that I was filling out had anything to do with a government database. The lady that asked me to fill out the form asked me to fill it out because I wanted access to the parking garage and to the door without having them buzz me in.
Okay. And up to that time, they were buzzing you in?
Yes,
Okay. And then at some time, for lack of a better word, were you unterminated?
yes. Immediately after the termination, within a week, I was back on the team. I was told I was never terminated, so that paperwork or that record was never put through.
Okay. And about how long did you work successfully at the city attorney's office after that point?
I worked successfully up until Mr. Goyke came in, and it was probably till December when they got rid of me.
Okay. Now, had you, during that time period, had you ever been notified by a supervisor of any complaints against you?
No,
Okay. And at some point, Mary Shanning became your supervisor, is that right?
not told to me directly. So at one point, they did a reclassification. I was told before Goyke got there that my who I reported to was Tawana Swanigan, which was the business manager. After that, I reported to the city attorney, which is Tierman Spencer at the time, and after that, I reported to Goyke. I was never instructed to report to Tawana Swanigan. We never had business as she was over me as a manager over me, and I never was told to report to Mary in that way. She is a deputy, so I do put her in that position and speak with her in that position and that hierarchy, but I was never told that this was my directing or my boss per se, or my manager.
Did you ever have any conversation with Mary Shanning, for lack of a better word, in a supervisory nature?
No.
Okay. Did Mary Shanning ever present you with any complaints?
Not a complaint. She presented me with things that we want to improve. We had improvement steps about onboarding, things that will go on. She presented me not as a complaint, but just steps of, hey, we would like to do this. Let's try to get this better. You know, things of making the onboarding situation and making things in the office better.
Okay. And did anybody ever come to you and say, hey, if you don't do this, you could be disciplined?
Never.
Okay. And that's throughout your entire time at the city attorney's office, from when you were unterminated to when you were recently separated?
Correct. I never had any disciplinary.
Okay. Now, did you ever learn about the possibility of you being placed on a PIP at any time?
No.
Okay. And you worked, for some of your time period, did you work near the city attorney?
Yes.
Okay. Where was your office physically located compared to his?
Prior to him approving me for office, I had a cubicle outside of his office across from his executive secretary. So I had direct sight to him as well as he had to me.
Okay. And for how long did that last?
It lasted for what? I don't know when he got sworn in, but from the time he got sworn in, about 3 or 4 months until he approved me to go to office. I teetered between two offices, which was the one I was in when I had the incident with Naomi. And then I told him I was going to the office next to Robin Peterson.
Okay. And you heard Ms. Sanders testify, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. How would you describe what happened with you and Ms. Sanders?
I would describe it as a not good experience. I never had anyone use profanity towards me that was in management. Never had anyone go ballistic over a chair. So I was drawn back that she came at me in that manner and used her position as a reason to do what she did.
Did you just make a complaint of any kind after that incident?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Who'd you complain to?
I talked to Mr. Donahue. I spoke with the site doctor. I don't remember his name. He's in this building. And I also spoke to Mr. Goyke about it.
Okay. And the second person you said was, I think, the psych doctor?
Yes.
Why did you speak to that person?
I felt some kind of way. And I felt it would be best for me to talk to somebody about it before having any reaction or making any decisions. So I decided to talk to him.
Fair to say it was a pretty significant incident for you.
Yes.
Okay. And then you talked to Mr. Goyke, fair?
Yes.
Why did you talk to Mr. Goyke?
I felt the need to, he's my boss, and I felt the need to speak with him about it firsthand because he's my boss, and it just makes sense to talk to him before talking to other people outside of the office.
Okay. What, if any, reaction did he have at that time?
He was shocked about it. He didn't, from my point of view, I didn't think he took it lightly, that he wasn't open to the fact that she did it. He told me he would address it.
And do you understand him to have addressed that issue?
I understand he had a conversation with her, yes.
Okay. Why did you understand, or how did you understand that?
I asked him about it. I set up a meeting to ask him about it to see where we're going with that and what was going to transpire because of that. And he instructed me that he spoke with her and expressed to her his displeasure with how she spoke with me at the time.
I'm going to bring your attention back to the time when you were terminated and then unterminated, okay?
Mhm.
Okay. At that time, do you believe that anybody at the city attorney's office learned of your criminal record?
At the time I was terminated?
The time you were terminated / unterminated?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Why do you believe that?
Because they used this as a reason to get rid of me.
Okay. Do you believe that others in the city attorney's office learned of your conviction record at that time?
Yes.
Why do you believe that?
For one, I did find out that my record did not go to the city attorney. The incident as it happened when I failed the background check did not go to the proper channels, which was the city attorney at that time. It went to Mr. Patterson, who passed it along to the city attorney, and the deputy in charge, which is Celia Jackson. So that's how I knew that my record was in other people's hands versus the city attorney hands.
Okay, and the only person that the records was supposed to be in was the city attorneys, as you understood it at that time, right?
As I understood, if anybody fails something, it should go to their superior, and Mr. Patterson was not my superior.
Okay, and Mr. Patterson, though, as you understood it, back some years back, knew of your conviction record, right?
Some people I was made aware that before I came to the city attorney's office, inquiries were made about me.
Okay,
And my
but
record.
and just focusing on that time when you were terminated and then unterminated,
Mhm.
did you understand at that time that Mr. Peterson knew about your conviction record?
Yes,
Okay, and then you heard testimony even today that Miss Sanders had heard about your conviction record from others, right?
correct,
Okay, and then you also heard earlier that Miss Shanning had heard about your conviction from others, right?
correct.
Okay, and both of those things occurred, both of those times that people had got information about your conviction record, that happened while they were not employed by the city attorney, true?
Correct.
I'm going to object to leading.
Now, did you have, other than Mr. Patterson, did you have any other information during your course of employment at the city attorney's office that anybody else knew, any other city attorneys knew of your criminal background?
Yes, I was made aware of the inquiry about me before coming over there about my record. They were asking individuals about me.
I'm going to object to hearsay. Ask that the answer be stricken.
Okay. Did you, is there anybody out after you were terminated / unterminated to the period where you separated during, let's focus on that time for a minute. Did you learn through your knowledge and experience that anybody else had learned of your conviction record?
During the first termination, you're asking?
Now, after the termination?
Oh, after the termination, I'm pretty sure it was over the office. I can't say who did it, how they did it, but I'm aware that it was around the office. I was terminated, so.
Okay, were people making comments about it?
There was a comment incident that I made aware of. Could it be attributed to my record? I would say yes, due to the nature of the comment, yes.
Okay, let's focus on that comment for a second. What's the comment?
I was tasked by the city attorney to go grab something from his car, and in the elevator, a deputy asked me what was I doing. I told him what I was doing, and he said, make sure I don't steal anything.
Okay. And do you believe that that was a reference to your previous criminal convictions?
I believe it's a quote that couldn't be made unless you had some kind of idea.
Okay.
You wouldn't just come out the blue and make a quote like that.
About when did this comment happen?
I can't give that date. I'm not aware.
Well, is it prior to this city attorney?
Prior to Goyke?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And who made that comment?
The deputy that's no longer with us, Mr. Todd Ferris.
Okay. Is there any other comments or other indications that you can recall where it became clear to you or may have been clear to you that people were aware of your conviction record?
I don't want to tie in and say comments that was made is based on my record. I just felt I wasn't looked at from a unbiased state or point of view. You know, people had their ideas about me and they had a notion of who they thought I was before getting a chance to know me.
Okay. Now, between the time when you were unterminated and the time when you were separated from the city attorney's office, did you successfully perform your job?
Yes,
Okay. And did you believe that you had been given a second chance?
I believe that whatever was done was corrected. I believe that whatever reason they done it, or whatever reason it was used to do what was done was corrected, and I wouldn't have to look at this again. So I put it in the rearview mirror, and I continued to do my job.
Okay. Did you have any problems, let's say, supporting city of Milwaukee staff with their needs at the municipal court building or police administration building while you
No,
were employed there?
no, I was able to do my job from the first time I got there up until the time I was terminated.
Okay. Do you know whether or not the CGIS database is a program supported by the city attorney's office?
I know the city attorney used the program. The program is a MPD product. I'm just knowing all this because of the termination. I was not trained on this, and I never had to deal with it during
Okay.
my time.
So what was your, up until the time that you were notified of your termination the second time, what was your knowledge of the CGIS system?
Well, the second time termination, then that's when I was made knowledge of it because of the termination. I was made knowledge of it, but I still hadn't been trained. I didn't know exactly. I haven't even went into the database to know exactly what it was because I never had access.
Okay. And you heard Mary Shanning testify earlier that she didn't consult AC Sarno about the possibility of you being, you was obtaining a waiver for CGIS clearance until after the separation, right?
Right.
Okay. Prior to that time, prior to your separation, did anybody give you a new CGIS form to fill out?
No.
Okay. So you were never given a chance to apply again, for lack of a better word.
So I'll say this: I was given the form and it was taken back from me.
Okay, what does that mean?
I was given a form to look at it, to fill it out, because I am the IT guy, and then it was taken back saying, "Hey, you can't do this."
Who took it back? Who gave the form to you?
I was given the form by Mary Lyles, who was over at OED. She runs OED.
Okay. And when was this? Before this current city attorney?
No, it was during the audit, when the audit came up.
Okay. So they showed you a form.
Yes, they showed me a form.
Did you understand at that time what the purpose of showing you that form was?
I knew it was audit, and I once I got to reading through it, I understood. I was getting an understanding of what this was about, what the audit was geared towards.
And this is prior to you learning of the potential separation.
The first time, or
The times, I'll ask this question again. When Mary Lyle showed you this form, this was prior to you learning about the potential separation?
I need to know what separation you're referring to. I got separated twice.
No problem. We're just talking about Mr. Goyke, right?
Okay.
And
So during Goyke's time.
sure. And when Ms. Lyle showed you this form, that was during Mr. Goyke's tenure?
Correct.
Okay. So just with that in mind here, what I'm just trying to understand is, did she show you this form before or after you were put, or given notice of the
Gotcha.
disciplinary hearing?
I seen the form way before the hearing, way before anything that was done.
Okay. And when you say, and I just want to be clear, that the form was taken back, who took the form back?
But Mary told me to, don't mess with it. She just told me, don't fill it out.
Okay. And did she say why not?
I'm assuming that no, she didn't. She didn't directly say why not. She just said, don't fill it out. I'm assuming it's because of this audit, or
Okay.
because the record. I don't know what was going on in the background. I just come to work and I find out as it goes. So I don't know what was actually going on with management, but I just got the form. She told me don't fill the form out.
Okay. And then from that time until you got the notice of the pre-disciplinary notice, nobody ever gave you a new application for the CJIS, right?
Oh, no, no.
Okay. Would you have filled out an application for CGIS had they given one to you?
I feel, if it got something to do with my job, I have no problem divulging anything that allows me to do my job.
Okay. Are you aware of any security issues that happened while you were supporting, let's say, let me retract that question. Are you aware of any security issues with CJIS while you're employed at the city attorney's office?
Am I aware of any security issues with CJIS?
Right.
No, we didn't deal with any, we didn't have any security issues.
Okay. And do you understand, sorry, do you know who has taken your position at the city attorney's office?
It was made aware to me, as well. If I heard in one of the hearings I was in, because I was in the hearing with you guys, they reinstated my predecessor. The guy who I got the job from was Jonathan Steckner.
And then, but he's not actually in that position, right?
Correct.
Okay. And as far as you understand, there's a temporary employee in that position?
Yes, I understand that from this hearing. Yes.
Okay. How does that make you feel that you've been replaced by a temporary employee?
It feels like we're spinning our wheels here because the temporary employee is in the same situation I'm in. Per the attorney, city attorney said that she's not certified. So she's not certified. I'm not certified. How she got the job and I don't.
Now I want to take you forward in time from where we've been discussing to you had at least one meeting with Mr. Goyke after it was told to you that you could be separated, true?
Yes, a little meeting. We had a small conversation. Yes.
Okay. And
Actually, we had two conversations.
fair. And during any of those times, do you recall whether or not you discussed alternatives to termination?
So we had a management meeting and I was blindsided in the management meeting because I just thought it was a management meeting, but at the end they told me they were firing me. So at that time, they asked me to, get my things together and give them my ID. And I don't remember at that time that I questioned it, but we had another meeting, which was the pre-separation hearing. And I did question or offer, is there some alternatives that can be done?
Okay. What were the alternatives that you offered at that time, if you recall?
Well, I knew I couldn't get it expunged, or I knew expungement was out. I was offering to see, was there any kind of workaround? Is there a workaround because this is not affecting my complete duties with the city attorney's office. This is just affecting a small part of OED, which really doesn't even affect me working with OED because I was able to work with them. So I was asking, was there a workaround? And I also, if I believe, mentioned, was there a way to contact CJIS to see if there's a workaround? Because through my knowledge, this was just someone making a decision on me. But they're making a decision based off another entity that's not their entity. So no one contacted the FBI and asked the FBI or CJIS, is there an issue or can we work around this issue? This was just, you failed, you got to go.
Well, and you heard testimony during these hearings that in fact you hadn't failed yet, right?
I'm going to object, misstates the testimony and the evidence that's before this commission.
Oh, let him answer.
And again,
Sure. You heard during this hearing that as of the date when you had these conversations with the city attorney, you hadn't actually failed yet, right?
hadn't actually failed the background check.
Right.
No, I had failed the background check. I failed the background check under Tierman Spencer. So
No, because what I'm asking you, I guess, is did you understand that whether or not you could go to CGIS and ask that whether or not an exception could be made for you?
oh, I didn't understand. I didn't think I could do it. I thought that since the decision was up to two important people, the city attorney and the police chief, I thought that would be their due diligence to do that if they were going to do it on my behalf. I would expect the city attorney to do it more than I expect the chief of police to do it.
Did you ask the city attorney?
The city, after my first meeting, the city attorney went on paternity leave, so we had no more communication other than a phone call that I asked to have with him. And at that time, I discussed some things, but no, there wasn't any discussion with him. I did have a discussion with Mary Shannon and Robin Patterson about it.
Okay. Okay. So when was this conversation between you and the city attorney? I think you said a telephone call. When did that take place?
Right after our last hearing, my separation hearing with Miss Shannon and Mr. Patterson,
Okay.
I asked Miss Shannon, can she have the city attorney call me? And he gave me a phone call.
Okay, so at the second meeting, the city attorney wasn't at that meeting. Is that fair?
No, the city attorney was, he was removed from the office after the initial managers meeting.
Okay.
He was not in the office after the managers meeting when they initially brought it to me that I was being terminated.
And so you didn't get to speak to the city attorney until after the decision was made?
Correct.
Okay. Do you feel that you're being discriminated here again because of your conviction record?
Yeah. I feel that way because there was nothing as far as conversation, as far as work ethic, as far as attitude that said I didn't belong or they didn't want me there. Until this CJIS audit and the conviction work came up, then things it went the way it went.
And do you think they tried to work with you in good faith to try to resolve the CGIS issue?
I guess that's optional to see who feels is in good faith. From my point of view, they said that they'll exhausted all their possibilities. I don't know what that was because I wasn't a part of what they exhausted, or I wasn't aware of what possibilities that they even tried to exhaust. I was told a couple of things, but to say whether it was done or not, I can't say. I can just tell you what I was told.
Well, what they told you prior to your separation did that line up with what they testified at hearings?
What they said in my separation was basically what they said in the hearing, but nothing was said about actually trying to make a real conscious effort to keep me on board. It was just sound like a decision was made and we're gonna go with the decision.
Is there anything else that you think this commission should know that would be helpful in making their determination here?
All I can say is I did my job without incidents. Well, let me not say incident. I did my job without issues of this CJIS matter. I was able to do my job successfully. If I wasn't doing my job or wasn't supposed to be in my job, how was I here for almost 4 years? I don't think letting a guy stay 4 years on the job and pulling the rug from under him is a nice way of handling things. I can tell the commission I'm willing to do my job. I want to do my job. I didn't see any issue with doing my job. And for us, CJS, I can't control the FBI, but I would have liked to let them make a decision versus if it was up to one guy and this guy making a decision, I don't know if that's personal. I don't know what that decision was about. I just know it doesn't make sense that I'm not able to do my job and because of CJS, but someone else is able to do my job who's in the same situation as me. Not having a background, but not passing CJS or being CJS certified.
Thank you.
Was Mr. Young the final witness?
Yes,
Okay,
but I assume my colleague may have questions.
well, I know, thank you for reminding me, Ms. Headley.
I do have some questions, but I was wondering, could we take a 5-minute break? I do have to use the
We
restroom.
can.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you back here in 10 minutes.
They just testified under oath at the outside before the police show up.
Just find that.
Just when you jump. Restrain myself, which is not unusual.
Yeah, I was able to hear the recording.
Much better. Yes. I think if the court couldn't hear you, so, yeah.
This is the court reporter. I have a really quick question. If you could answer it for me. I haven't, I'm not familiar with everybody that's sitting up at the commissioner's bench area. So I'm wondering if you could, like, either right before we get started next or at the end, kind of let me know who is who. So, Okay, and then my other question is, there are a lot of people online. Typically, I add them as observers to the appearance page, but there are several of them. I mean, are these people here regarding this hearing? All these people on the observing this from the internet, from the online?
Oh,
Yeah, typically all those people are here. They're just attending remotely, and because they don't speak, I put them down as observers, but there are several. So I'm wondering if these are people that are here for other hearings,
no,
other reasons? Okay, they're
No.
all for this hearing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got all those names, but before we begin, if you could just go around the commission table there, starting with you, just shoot your names out for me so that I make sure that I have all, I'm pretty sure I know who's who, but just to confirm, that would be great. If that's okay.
And then we got some.
You want us to do that right now? Or when we go back on the record?
Anytime. Yeah, anytime. We don't have to put it on record even. Go
Okay.
ahead and just so I can have the speakers identified as to who's talking. Go ahead.
Sure, I'll start. Assistant City Attorney Patrick McLean.
Okay,
We have
I'm Commissioner Steve Smith.
thank you. And of course, President Bach, and then I'm assuming Commissioner Cleary.
yes, and
Okay.
the last commissioner, the best commissioner, just walked in the door.
We're just identifying ourselves for the third party.
Yeah. Commissioner,
Marilyn Miller.
oh,
Commission Vice President Marilyn Miller.
whoops, I didn't hear that one.
Sorry.
That's Commission Vice President Marilyn Miller.
Yep, I realized that after she mentioned her name. I'm familiar that she's vice president. Thank you. And you
Got it.
are,
Kristen Hennessy Urban.
okay,
I am the acting executive secretary for this hearing.
okay, I am familiar. I do have a listing of your names. I just wanted to make sure you are who these names are, and especially Mr. McLean, just because he spoke earlier. Wanted to make sure that I had his name correct. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yes, for sure.
You said
Okay.
go around that document, all these little circles on the screen that have initials.
Well,
People watching.
I can switch it to participants from where I'm sitting and get the full names. I do have them. I'm gonna be putting them down as observers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm ready to go whenever anybody else is. I'm just gonna turn my camera off and I'll wait for you all to begin. Thank you.
I didn't know it was gonna rain all day.
And tomorrow.
Probably should not have watered my lawn this week.
And you went to the garden center, as did I.
I do hope, yeah, the tree, I mean, it's okay. Yeah. It's bad, yeah. Regardless, did you go?
I was at Kellner's.
Okay,
I was at,
with the protests and everything, you managed to weed through and
there was no protest when I was there.
Why were they
at the garden center?
at the garden center?
She's run afoul of the local inhabitants.
That's all about, because all they did was
trouble with the garden. That's, remember when they came up with free speech for businesses? We're like, maybe it's a good idea, but
Yeah.
maybe it's not.
Let's see where this goes.
And this guy exercises free speech and some people didn't appreciate it.
I went to Stein's, which is probably heresy to say. I was at a tiny little flower and gift shop down in Rochester, Wisconsin.
Hey, just to let you all know, you are muted. I don't know if you went back on record or not, but
Some gardening tips for the observers.
Get him out of the sheets.
No, she would just bring in the enormous pots and just.
Yeah.
Yeah, just add it in. And that makes problems.
I'm impressed with your mother-in-law.
Yeah, I'm the place that is gonna die. They just want to come with me and live.
My friend in Rochester would do it, and I think hers was more scrimping pennies than it was trying to maintain
Yeah,
unique and
right.
wonderful strains.
It's sensitive. Drain, so it'll blow your.
It's 2:40 and the hearing will resume. We have questions from the witness.
I do, President Bach, thank you. And thank you again for the brief recess. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Mr. Young, do you prefer Mr. Young or Antoine?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Can you do me a favor, please? There's 3 separate files. One is marked in letters A, E, and then J. So I'm just gonna identify that, and they should be in order numerically, but if they're not, my apologies. I want you to turn to this large pile, exhibit D12. It's the with the big flip on it. D12.
D12.
Exhibit
all right.
D12.
Just a moment. Give us a chance to get our copy.
Certainly, and it is the CJIS policy, the relatively large 500+ page document.
Oh, then I don't
Okay,
need
no,
to worry
just,
about that.
I'm not gonna ask specific questions on it,
Oh.
just. Mr. Young, you were asked a series of questions from your counsel regarding CJIS. Do you recall that line of questioning? Have you ever seen this document that's before you, Exhibit D12?
Yes,
Okay, when did you see this document?
I seen this document when the audit.
For the audit? Okay, prior to the audit, did you ever have any inclination or any dealings with this document?
I didn't, there was I'm trying to remember, there was something from the OIG. I don't know if it pertained to this.
Okay, so prior to the audit in November of 2024, you hadn't seen this document that you can recall sitting here today?
Prior to the audit, no, I didn't have to
Okay.
figure this out.
Okay,
Not
is it,
that I recall.
sure, is it fair to say that you're not an expert on all 500+ pages in this document?
Right, yep.
Okay, and you would agree with me that this document has been put forth by the federal government?
I was just given a document. I can't say how it got here.
Okay, all right. If you take a look at on the front page for me there, it indicates that this is the Criminal Justice Information Services Security Policy. You see in the top, it says CJIS in the parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
So would you agree with me that CJIS is a policy?
Correct.
All right. Do you understand it to also be a contract between the federal government and the local municipalities?
I don't know it to be a contract, but if that's what it is, that's
Okay.
fine.
Is it fair to say, because I just want to clarify your testimony, that the CJIS is a policy and a contract and not a software program?
Like I said, I don't know the dynamics of this actual document, whether it's a contract or policy. It says policy on there, so I'm gonna assume what we're reading is what it is.
So again, just trying to make sure that the commissioners understand your testimony correctly. When you indicated that you didn't have access to CJIS, the software, what were you referring to?
Well, from the testimony, they said I could go into CJIS and change records or anything. I wasn't aware of that because I never was trained on that to even, so that's what I was referring to, the software. I found out that part of this CJIS is the being approved to the building, which I wasn't aware of until this problem was brought up. I was understanding that we were dealing with a software issue.
Okay.
And then there was that, from the application I filled out, I thought that application was just getting into the building. I didn't know that application was CGIS itself. I was never told that.
Okay, sure. So let's go ahead and take a look at J1 for me now. Is this that document that you were referring to that you filled out?
Correct.
Okay. And on the document itself, you see how there's 3 separate tiers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3.
Correct.
All right. And it does indicate that there's specific software programs, specifically Tracks and Tracks Amended, that was requested to be accessed for you in the tier 1 access.
Okay.
Do you see that?
I do see that.
Okay. And to the best of your knowledge, those are software programs.
Correct.
Okay. And then you also see in the MPD physical access tier 3. And that was also to the same as other city attorneys in the building to physically access the building. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. And my understanding of it was this was denied back in 2022.
Okay.
Is that your understanding?
Yes.
All right. And is this part of the background check that you indicated that you failed back in 2022 under Mr. Spencer?
This is the application that I filled out. Yes. I was told I failed.
Okay. When you indicated that you failed the background check, is this the document that you were referring
This is
to?
what I'm assuming this what they were talking about.
Okay. Thank you.
I was only told to fill out the top half.
Sure. I understand. I want to turn your attention now to Appellant's Exhibit 3. Should be in the A pile. Yeah, again, numerically ordered. So A3. And again, not going to go through the entirety of it, and that's
I guess
yeah,
this.
that one.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm not going to go through this in all of its entirety, but if you take a couple minutes to flip through it, or you've already done so.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This is the copy of your criminal background as it existed in 2022, correct? Is there any changes from this document from 2022 to 2023?
No.
Okay. 2023 to 2024?
No.
2024 to present? Okay, so this document is the same today, your history rather, same today as it was back in 2022 when you failed the background check?
That's been added.
Nothing has been added, nothing has been removed. It is the same. Okay.
Can I get a verbal response on that last question?
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, nothing has been added.
Okay,
I haven't
that's,
I haven't did no
Appreciate-
Google search either. So I can't tell you.
Hey, listen, understood. All right. I want to clarify another statement that you made during your testimony. You indicated that the background check that you failed in 2022 was a secondary background check. Do you recall giving that testimony?
I don't think I said secondary. If I did, I didn't mean secondary. What I meant was I did a background check for my initial job. This background check was not part of my initial job. This background check happened after I was on the job for quite some time.
Okay. And to be clear, when you said you did a background check, are you referring to for your initial job? Is that with ITMD?
That's what ITMD, and that's what when I transferred to the city attorney's office, there was another background check done for me to transfer and get approved. That's what I was told.
From whom?
From DER has to do, what I was told is when you do apply and get a new job, you go through a whole background check, and that's what was done, and that's what was approved, and that's why I got the job.
And who told you that?
That went through DER, and I also think I spoke with, I don't know if I spoke with Celia and them about it, but that was the procedure that I was made aware of is, hey, you apply for the position, they do the checks and balances. If you can get the position, that was done, and I got the position.
Okay, so it's your belief.
It's my belief
Okay.
that there was, I know I had a background check when I started with ITMD. There should have been a background check. I don't know. I'm not going to say it should. I was told there was a background check to do the transfer promotional, which I did. And then after that, sometime during my job at the city attorney's office, I was told, hey, if you want ID, fill out this form, which subjected me to another background check. I
Okay.
did not know I didn't know I was getting background check to that extent. I didn't know. I just thought I was filling out an application to get an ID for the MPD.
Okay. I understand, and that's despite the fact that it has on here access to software programs.
Once again, I was told to fill out the top.
Okay. Can you identify a specific policy that the city has that you can point to, which supports your assertion that there was a background check performed when you got hired?
The policy.
Mhm.
Yeah, you do a background check on people you hire. I mean, that's the city policy to do a background check on everybody, correct?
Are you asking me, or are you?
I'm identifying, but I am asking you.
Is it fair to say that you don't know the city's policies on background checks with hiring processes?
It's fair to say that I'm assuming, and I'm pretty sure, because I had to fill out paperwork, that there was a background check given to me when I first got my job at the city.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're not gonna let someone come in and they don't know who he is.
If that policy doesn't exist, would that surprise you?
It would surprise me. Yes, if you can actually hire somebody without the background check. It would
Okay.
surprise me. Especially for the city.
I would like to turn your attention now to Exhibit A18. So in that same pile, A18. Commissioners, that will be their job description. It's a 5-page document. Do you have it in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you recognize this? That's not the correct.
Oh, that's fine. There we go.
All right. So A18, do you recognize this document? What is this?
This is the job description when I first got to the city attorney's office when I was applying for the job.
Right. This is your job description?
No, this is the job description I'm applying for, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure. Go ahead. Take a look at box number 2 on A18.
Yeah.
Whose name is in box number 2?
Present incumbent, my name.
Okay. So is this your job description for the position of business systems coordinator?
This is job description for senior IT. I was a senior IT when I came.
Sure. I'll go ahead and direct you to look at box number 10, please. Under the section that says official title.
Yes, that was not this. When I got to the city, this was not even a position available. So this business systems coordinator should not have been there because that was not a position. I came over as a senior IT, which was what Jonathan Stegner was. When he left the city attorney's office, he left as a senior IT. He did not leave as a business system coordinator.
Sure. I think I can understand your confusion. So what I want to do real quick is then take a minute to go ahead and look at A27. And I think you and I can get on the same page then. If you go ahead,
A27.
no, exhibit A27, please.
Okay,
Okay, so
this is the job description.
they're both job descriptions,
no,
correct? Okay.
This is the one I recognize filling out.
Okay, so so A27 is what you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay, so you filled out so when you started, you had this position of A27, which was IT support specialist senior.
Correct.
Okay, I believe you testified that you got reclassed and then you became the business systems coordinator, correct? All right, so based upon this, I want to just reiterate and make sure that you and I are on the same page. This was your job description, the business systems coordinator, when you were separated from employment with the city of Milwaukee.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The A27 was the job description that when you transferred from ITMD to this office of city attorney. That is correct. All right. So we're on the same page now.
Yes, we are.
All right. So I want you to go ahead and take a look at the essential functions for me under number 12 on A18. You can look at A27 too. I'll submit they're identical or very similar too. All right. So I just want to make sure, go ahead, take a minute, review the essential job functions as well as the basic function of the position. That would be the narrative in section 11 on the job description for me. And just to be clear, making sure that you and I are on the same page, did you just read the paragraph 11, or did you also take a look at the essential job functions in sub 12?
No, I didn't.
Okay, can you go ahead and take a look at 12 for me real quick? And I'll ask you specifics, but I just want to make sure that you have an opportunity to review it before I do so.
Mhm.